So this talk is about building your personal brand or making yourself visible in organizations that do cross-calibration, cross-team ranking, where they do curve fitting, basically, or any organization really. The question is why do you need to build a brand, and what can you get out of it? And the reality is there are kind of three groups of participants in your career and in your compensation and how you get rated. There's you, there's your manager, and there's others. And the pool of others varies based on the company. I've worked in a couple of companies where we've done cross-calibration, and basically it's a cage match where everybody goes into a room and they talk about their people and they try and rank them and they curve fit them. And the question is, how do you help your manager or other people that like working with you push you to the top of that? And the way you do that is by building a brand, by creating visibility with others, right? So for you and your manager, it's like you got to ask them, hey, what can make me more visible? What can I do to help you become more visible? And your success, was partially because of me. What kind of coaching can I get? What kind of tasking can you give me? Can you give me something to work on that's not completely hidden, but is visible to others, right? What can you do to increase my merit in the perception of others and to you, right? And then when you work with others, but like in these cross-ranking, it's your manager and the others that decide, right? If it was just your manager, which it's not anymore in a lot of companies, then it's easier. And so the question is, what you want to do is you want to give yourself some juice with the others, with the other managers. And you do that by contributing and communicating, putting out ideas, putting out communication that's well put together, answering questions, helping to solve problems, participating in stuff that may not be your core attributes or core role, but is something near it, right? And then what'll happen is your manager and the others will end up in sessions where money's given out, promotions, where curves are fit, where people are put on plan, people get bonuses. And that's really, a lot of that is based on how your manager or other allies can convince people that you rank above those other people, right? That you're more interesting, that you're worth an opportunity at something. That ranking, basically, those others and your manager, they provide feedback to each other, they promote, your manager or others promote you, and then you get better offerings. And basically that's bonus, more interesting work, not being fired, not being put on plan. And it's basically, it's opportunity, right? The only other way you can do this is to leave the company. And that's what some people do. They don't have a great way of building a brand. They don't have a manager that supports that. And so they change companies very often. And partially that's because it's the only way they can figure out how to move up, right? So just from trying to keep this super short, the key thing is build your global brand or your corporate brand. And you do that by making yourself useful or visible to others, or putting yourself in a position that when your manager works with others, they bring you in or help you make this happen. Now, sometimes this doesn't work at all. You can have a reorg, your manager can leave, there can be a massive change. And so this work sometimes just gets blown away, right? But it's better than if you all rely on a manager, a single manager. They could leave, they could move to another group, and suddenly you've got no champion. Basically, this is a way of building multiple champions. And so the idea in my mind is, what you need to do. You need to have a roadmap for today's and tomorrow brand building actions, right? And you need to excel at work on your team in a way that is visible with others. And I have done that before and moved into other positions. Those always haven't worked out, but usually being allowed to move somewhere is because of those. And you want to help other teams in across functional areas so that they're successful, is partially because of you. And that way, when it comes up in a cross team, or when it comes up, hey, who do we have that we want to promote for this? You are one of the names that comes up, and it's not just one person mentioning it. And you need to be visible in management discussions and cross team communications and projects. And you need to do it probably in a better way that I've done. Sometimes it works great, and sometimes, some people just don't like communication. They just like, well, you know what? Skip it. Okay, so what do you got to do? You really need to work with your manager probably and say, how can I build my brand? You might phrase it differently. You might say, what can I do to become more visible to others? How can I become more valuable to others? Can you help me? Otherwise, you got to do it all on your own, and hopefully you have a good manager and somebody who wants to help you do that. Are you interested in building your brand and getting the pieces that come along with it. Have a great day.